Okay, I'm back for the second part of this video, which is about my mental health diagnosis. The first part there was about my physical diagnosis, and then I got a call to go in for some testing at the hospital, so I had to rush out, go do that, and then I came back, I ate lunch, relaxed a bit, and then now I'm back to filming. So Stone is here with me, he's in my lap right now. I will try to put in a little clip of the cuteness of a minute ago when I first tried to film this. But that's, you know, we'll see. Hopefully it makes it in there. So besides the physical issues, I also have a mental health diagnosis. So I have PTSD, major depressive disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, panic disorder, and we're currently going through some testing and some evaluation to determine what else that I have. And so I don't really want to hit on that yet. I'll probably make a special video after we kind of go through a little bit more of that. I see a psychiatrist and a therapist regularly, and this has all been like really a thing for me, I guess, within this past year. It's been a really rough year for me and my family, and we have gone through a lot, and I'm very blessed to have such a supportive family. Just my parents, my husband's family, they've been very supportive of us, my in-laws, and I guess just kind of having also the support of friends. My best friend, you know, we can not talk for a long time and then just talk like we never missed a beat. And she has been so supportive of me in this decision, and especially with me deciding to put it out there online. It's always a scary thing, putting so much of yourself out there, but at the same time, I feel that it could really help people, especially kind of like to dive into what I've gone through and like how these diagnoses came up and how I discovered it, when I discovered it, things like that. If you guys are interested at all, I will gladly make videos regarding that. That's kind of what I wanted to talk about anyways, because there's such a stigma surrounding mental health that you know, nobody wants to talk about it. They want to pretend like it's not there until something bad happens, and then it's, you know, over the top, dramatic, and, you know, woe is me type of stuff. And that's not where we want to be. I would like us to be a place where anybody could walk up to a stranger and say, I need help, and that stranger should be able to point them in the direction of help. And I know that sounds very like world peace, but really, in all honesty, is how it should be. There was a training that I went to earlier this year, and the speaker was talking about a gentleman that had jumped off of a bridge and tried to, you know, end his life. And he said that all he wanted was one person to stop him, basically. Like, this is the gist. I'm not gonna go all into the story. Kevin Hines, that's the name, I'm pretty sure. If it's wrong, I'll try to put something here to say what it is, and I will also try to link the movies, because there's some movies about him. Anyways, he just said that he had hoped that like one person would just, you know, ask him if he was all right. And when somebody did stop him and he thought like this is gonna be it, they asked him if he could take a picture of them or him or whatever the person was. And he ended up jumping off the bridge because he felt that nobody cared. And what happens is we get so locked into this like headspace that it's such a bad thing to talk about mental health and to to like put ourselves out there, reach out to people and say, you know, I'm hurting, I'm sad, I'm angry, I'm happy, just out of control happy, I don't know, whatever the issue may be. You know, we should be able to speak up about it and say it to our friend, our neighbor, or whoever without fear of judgment. And that's what it comes down to, is the judgment of it. Again, as I've said, like invisible illness. You can't see somebody's brain like on display. Thoughts, like my head right now, you can probably tell I'm a little scrambled, and it's because there's so many thoughts running through my head right now. This isn't scripted out. Like, I know what my diagnoses are. I have it written down in my notes, but I'm not even looking at them. And it's just kind of one of those like thoughts, millions of thoughts flowing through my head very rapidly as I'm trying to speak, and just telling me that, like, on the other side of it, it's like telling me that like my anxiety is saying, oh my gosh, you're gonna get judgment for this, you're gonna get this, and you're gonna get that, and lots of like negativity. And so here I am having a decent day, mild on the pain scale. I mean, not as mild as the day before. Yesterday was much better, but for what I thought I would feel today, I'm doing pretty good. I just, see, this is the whole brain thing. I just want people to kind of see and understand what it's like. So you can't see it, but there are things going on, and you might walk past one person, 10 people, 30 people a day who all have the same thoughts that I do right now of, you know, gotta do this, gotta do that, gotta put this together, gotta make sure you look here, do this, lights, camera, action, you know, all of that. And then at the same time, you have that nagging voice telling you that you're doing something wrong, you're not great enough, and you're never going to be anything. And then you have just like the actual reality of like, yeah, I think I can do this, but my brain is telling me no, and this side of my brain is telling me that I'm forgetting all of this, and you know, it just kind of ends up into a rambling mess like this. But that's just kind of a little taste. Maybe you were able to follow along with that and understand what I was trying to say. I don't know if I can make it much clearer than that. I would be glad to give it another try if you guys would like to see more. Let me just double check my notes here and make sure I'm not forgetting anything. As usual, I would like to include the suicide hotline number. That's probably just going to be, I mean, in my description like usual. Going to tell it to you right now, and that's 1-800-273-8255. Eventually I'll have that memorized. I won't have to look down all the time. But if you need the help, please reach out. I'm just gonna take a peek here. Let's see. Oh, I guess I didn't add on there when we're talking mental health, like eating disorders. While I've never been diagnosed with an actual eating disorder or anything like that, but I am one who tends to binge. I'm a binge eater. I can eat, oh sorry, the light is changing again. I should say, even now, I still struggle from time to time. It will come across. It often coincides with how I'm doing mentally. So if I'm in a really low place, then I might be eating a lot of food, or if I'm in a really good place, I might be eating healthier, or, you know, more regularly, or things like that. Sorry. So, the other part of eating disorders. So I haven't been diagnosed with an eating disorder. However, I am a binger, so I tend to binge eat. So eating disorder. However, I've never been actually diagnosed with a eating disorder, but I know myself and I know my habits, and based on that, I can kind of speculate that it would be considered a binge eating disorder. And basically those tend to coincide with my mental health. So if I'm having a bad mental health day, I might eat more. If I'm having a good mental health day, I might eat healthier or more frequently, but better choices of meals. But in the end, it comes down to the actual like binge eating. And that's something that can be fueled by anger or sadness or joy. I mean, what things you do, like breakups. Oh, you eat ice cream. I never really did that, but it's generally like sweets for when you're sad, and you've got sweets when you're happy for birthdays and parties and all that jazz. I mean, it really does hit pretty much food for everything, and so while I don't have an actual diagnosis, like I understand mine. The other thing that I have, they haven't really clarified yet. They're still kind of like they're not quite sure what it's from, but it's similar to a like sensory disorder. I have issues with the way that things feel. There's certain textures I really just don't do well with. Also, that goes into an auditory thing. I have an issue with the sound of people chewing. I can kind of get past that to a certain extent. I'm usually a lot more vocal about how irritating it is when it's my own husband or my own family, and they like to tease me about it because they know they love me. And so the other thing is like sometimes touching will be uncomfortable to me. It's like my skin crawls, and sometimes it's painful, and it's a really hard thing to describe. And so for me, like deep pressure touches feel best versus the light gentle. Like light and gentle is just kind of weird for me and creepy. And I'm not sure why that all came about. It didn't start off that way. It's just kind of come on over the last few years and gotten really bad within this last year, which I think kind of goes into my PTSD part of like, because of the fear and everything that's in that, I've become a lot more like hyper aware, hyper vigilant, and that tends to open you up to being very susceptible to like other triggers, I guess. It's like you're everything's heightened, so you're just waiting for something to happen, so that kind of like sets everything off. That's the only way I can explain it. Sorry guys, that was my other dog. Anyways, I think that's kind of where I'm going to stop this mental health side stuff at, until I kind of find out more information, and then I'll do a separate like updated video on that. If you'd like to know about anything in specifically, or if you'd like me to kind of dive a little deeper into any of these subjects, I will gladly do that. The other thing I wanted to mention, and just in case if I don't put that in there from the first clip I did, because I had to kind of add on to this, my hair and everything is kind of a mess because I had a procedure done at the hospital today, and while they were doing that, it involved them putting like glue and electrodes into my hair and everything, and so I had to stop filming and go there, do that. Then I came home, ate lunch, rested, like relaxed for a little bit because that testing was very like strenuous for me. It put me into a weird place, and you'll see it in the vlog, so I'm not going to talk too much about that. But I came home and did all this stuff and just relaxed, and I haven't taken a shower to wash the glue out of my hair or anything like that. I was like, I'll do that later on, like tonight. I just kind of need to sit down and relax for a little bit. I was feeling very like overdone. I don't know if that makes sense, but so I apologize for the crazy wacky hair in this second half of this video, and yeah, this is what you get. Some days you're gonna get makeup and hair, and some days you're gonna get neither. Some days you're gonna get a mix match. I don't know. Mismatch, that's the word. So thank you guys for watching. If you'd like to find out more about anything that I've talked about today, please feel free to comment down below, or you can send me messages at my Instagram accounts, servicedog_stone, or at Pullin Vlogs, or you can find us on Twitter at Pullin Vlogs. And let us know what you want to see. We are excited to make content for you guys and, you know, lay it out on the line. Thank you all so much for watching. Subscribe. Bye.